Hey everybody, so today we're going to look at your home page and we're going to talk about the layout builder to show you how that works and how you can change this stuff on your home page. Basically everything below the slider. The slider and above is controlled by your customizer. However, everything below that is controlled by the layout builder, which we'll find in your widgetized areas. So what we're going to look at here, let's just go to the back end, look in the dashboard under Appearance and then Widgets, which will bring you to this page. We're going to look here in Widget Area 1 for the Layout Builder. And our first step is going to be simply to open the builder to see what things look like. So once we open the Layout Builder, you can see some correlation between the look of the layout builder and the look of your home page. In this case, we have 4 rows. The first row has 4 columns. The second row is 1 straight column, as is the third, and then the last column or the last row has 2 columns. So now let's look at the main page. You notice also here there's the first row has 4 boxes, 4 columns. The second one was 1 single row, one with only a single column in there. The next one was also a single row, but it has a widget that puts these things into 3 separate columns. You can change it and make it 4 or even up to 5 and 6 different items in a single area like that with this particular widget that's in this area. The next one was that bottom row that showed it had a column. The column is separated here. You got the logo, the information about the website owner, and then over here their products. All of that is represented here by this simple widget area in this thing. Now let's look at each of these widgets to show you how to change them. You'll notice a lot of the settings from one widget to another is exactly the same. So once you learn 1 or 2, you'll be able to do pretty much any widget in here. So let's start on the top row. The row, let's edit this. It is a site origin hero. It says a big hero image with a few settings to make it your own. So simply hover over the widget, choose edit. And once we load up the settings here, you can see that there's a lot of settings here that you can work with and play with to change the look and how this operates on screen. I recommend playing with it a little bit. Change some settings, try some different things out, and just see. And then once you do, save it, refresh your home page, see what the changes did. Gives you a really neat idea to where you can add some amazing effects and some really intricate looks for your website to make your site different from others. In this case, it shows this first frame. Let's look at that frame is vinyl decals. Let's look on the home page to get an idea of exactly where that was, and you can see it right there. Vinyl decals, the words, and it's got a box around it. So let's go back to the settings for that. There's the words. And then scroll down a little bit, there's the background image, and there's that image. You can see it kind of thumbnail small in there. That's the image for the background of this little area. So if you wanted to change the colors or change the image, you simply would go here and choose your media, which will bring up your media library where you can either upload images to your media library, or if it's something you've already got uploaded, just choose your media library, choose the picture you want, and set it as your background by hitting Set Media. So then the next thing you want is you're going to need this destination URL. That tells your website what to do when a visitor comes to your website, puts their mouse over the top of that area and clicks. Where that goes is determined by this destination URL. So you can either copy and paste that, you can type it in yourself, or you can choose this select content. If you choose select content, a window will come up. You can search for the content you're looking for. You can narrow it down by product category. There's a multitude of ways to get this content in here, but you do have to have a link here if you want it to go to a certain place. So once you get all that done, now notice there's a lot of other settings here. You can add buttons to that little box. You can add all kinds of different things. You can change the background color. You can change just so many different things. But if all you want is the same look that we already have, you just want to change the background image and the words perhaps, you just change them here. Okay, you can use the buttons and the formatting here to change the look of this words. You can add whatever words you want, change the order, whatever you want to do. All of that is done right here in this area. But by all means, add some buttons, add some background colors, change the opacity of the image. Give it a try, see what it does, so that you can understand what's going on in here, and you can really lay out your website the way you want. Once you're done, hit the done button, and we do the same thing on each of these. This top row is 4 identical boxes. That gives you those 4 boxes we saw in the front. The next one, the next row that we've got here, is another exactly the same widget. It's just done a little different. Notice it takes up the entire row. We want that one widget to fill the entire row. And in so doing, it gives us the page that we saw here on the home page. Right here, notice you got one big image, and then your words cover the entire area. By moving my mouse over it, it turns it into a link that I can click on and take me to, in this case, special events section of her website. That's here under this one. Same exact thing. All we do is hover over it, brings up the menu, choose edit. Once the settings come up, we go in here to the frame and we choose the information. There it is. Now sometimes it'll come up like this and you're looking at this code going, oh my goodness, I don't know how to do code. How do I do that? That means you're in the text editing area of the widget. Just click here where it says visual, and that brings it back over here to the visual editor. And now it looks like it should. For those folks that don't know and want to know how to do actual web coding, you can just choose bold or italics from this, and it'll create those codes for you. Same thing, scroll down, there's your image file. Scroll down a little further, there's your destination URL. Those are really the only things you need to change if all you want to do is change the look and not the whole overall look. You just want a different picture, different words, and a different link address. All you need is those 3 things changed. Now, if you wanted to change and make this a rotation, like a slider thing or something like that, you can do all that. It's just a matter of adding some more settings in here or changing the widget. The next one is the biggest one we get asked about. That's the Site Origin Features widget here. What that controls is these 6 icons that you see here. Ceramic ornaments, in this case Lancer alumni, fundraisers, outdoor tailgate, embroidery, and memorials. These areas are is all one widget, and it's controlled by this features widget. This features widget, once we open that up, you'll see those same exact feature elements are listed right here under features. You've got additional settings down below that you can change. You can, if you wanted 4 features per row or even more, 2 or 1 feature per row, or however you want to change it, you change these numbers here. Change sizes. You can even change and put a shape around each of these. You know, make it look like a big exploding shape, or a sticker, or some sort of square or triangle, whatever you wanted that shape to look like. You can even change the background color and so forth. All of that's there, but individually here on these features, for example, we hover over, we choose this drop down arrow to open up the features. This shows you, again, notice the settings are pretty much the exact same thing we've been looking at. There may be an additional setting here or there, but to the most part, all of these widgets work very much the same way. So once you learn 1 or 2, you're going to have them all down pat, and it won't be any problem to change it. Remember that little heart ornament that we saw on the front page, well, there it is. All you have to do to change it is choose media. Brings up that exact same media library that you're used to. Choose a different image or upload your own new one if you want, and hit set media, and now you've added a different image to this thing. Simple as that. There's very little that you have to change in this section, but just changing just a few little areas of simple text and you've completely changed the look of the website. So once you do all that, you can come in here. Let's say you want to change this area where, in this case, she's got her logo down here and the name of her business, her phone number, her web address, and so forth. All of that can be changed. You don't need to have that there. That's just there temporarily. For example, let's say you wanted to put a video over there or something, or you wanted to add something, you could totally change all that. Okay, so that walks you through the layout builder, how it is right now. But let's say you want to change something up. You want to add, in this case, you're looking at your home page and you've decided these 4 boxes are nice and this is nice, but I want another box just like this one below all of these products. So below all of that, I want another row down here so that I can put in some videos showing what we do. Really simple. Just come in here, choose add a row. Okay, are you going to have like smaller videos and you want 2 rows of videos or 2 columns of videos, I'm sorry, or do you want just one long row, which is what I would recommend? Create a row, hit the insert button. Oops, looky there, it inserted that. But right here, notice that it inserted the row above my featured products. That's not where I want that to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and see these 2 arrows over here. If you click that and hold it, it will allow you to drag that row anywhere you want on your page. So I'm going to drag it and drop it down there. So now it's below my contact info and my featured products. And all I have to do is click it once to select it. Then I'm going to choose add a widget. Now look at all these widgets. You've got choices beyond measure. You can add calendars and images and galleries and navigation menus. You can even add an entire new layout builder, which will allow you to put even more rows, columns, and even more widgets. So this is limited by your imagination only on how intense you want your website to look. You can put things in here to select just any number of different things. You can put audio files and progress bars and promotional banners and all kinds of things. But anyway, let's get back to what we were going to do. We were going to look at adding a video. So, well, I'm not seeing any videos, so let me scroll through here and just look. Well, there's so much there I can't figure out. Well, right up here you can search your widgets. So click in that search area and let me just type the word video. Notice how it sorts it down. All I got is VID, and look at all these choices now. So now I can choose from one of these 4 widgets, but which one to choose? Well, the little description here tells me a little bit about each one, and every one is going to display that video slightly differently. Sometimes you just have to try each one and see which one you like the look of best. Other times you may get to where it's like, well, I've used this one several times and I like the way it works. I love how it looks on my website, so I just always go back to that one, for example. But either way, you just let's just choose one. We'll just choose the one that says video. Notice how it filled the whole area because that's what you're wanting it to do. Go in here, same thing. Choose edit to edit the details. You give it a title and add your video. No other settings to have to worry about. You just add the one video and you're done. Couldn't be simpler. Okay? By adding a video, you can right here, you're going to upload it. In general, you're probably not going to be uploading videos to your website. You're going to put them on sites like YouTube or so forth and so on. You know, if that's the case, you will go to your website address on YouTube. You'll copy it, Then you'll come here and choose insert from URL, and you'll just paste that the link that YouTube gives you for your direct link to your video. Paste that in there, hit add to widget, and there it goes. Very simple. Choose done, and you've just added a video to your homepage. So the layout builder is extremely powerful. Only real way to get good at it is to get in there and play with it a little bit. Don't be afraid of it. You may mess something up. If that's the case, give me a call. Shoot me an email. Send me a private message on Facebook. Whatever it takes. We can fix anything that you mess up in here. It's not difficult. But don't be afraid of it. Come in here. See how you can drag things around and move them like you want the look a little bit different than the way it is. Everything's adjustable. You are in charge completely of your layout and look. Once you're done, just hit those done buttons and then hit save, and that saves it all right there to your website. One of the other cool features about this is you can use that same layout builder on your pages, on your posts. So for example, I want to create a new page. So let's go in here to add a new page. It's giving me a warning because I didn't hit the save button. I don't want to hit the save button because I'm not going to save any changes I made. So I'm going to just hit leave, and we'll go ahead to the add a page. Notice here this page builder, when I choose add a new page, let's say I want to create a contact page, or I want to create a new page that tells people about the custom clothing we make. I don't want it to be a product page because it's not really about a specific product. It's just about a whole line of products. So I want to put some images in here maybe. I want to put a video. I want to put all kinds of cool stuff to tell people all about our custom clothing line. So we would give it a title. Okay. Then I could go in here and I could just type everything in. I could use these tools that are here and I could type it in. And if I know coding, I could put in my spaces and my divisions and my columns and my stuff. But it's extremely complicated and very difficult to do for the average person. That's where the page builder comes in. Instead of doing all that, I'm just going to click here where it says page builder. It's going to now turn off the editor, and it's going to make it a page builder thing where I can now add my own rows, my own widgets, all kinds of different things. I can even use pre-built layouts, or I can just come in, it gives you documentation to read about if you want to read more about it. But let's start with a new row. Everything has to be in a row to work with. So I can't just add a widget because there's no row there to add it. But let's add a row. Let's make it 50-50. That's a good idea. And now we add our thing. Typically, I like to start off with some sort of the hero widget, hero image, or a headline widget. Headline would be good because to start your page off, right? So add a headline widget, choose edit, and type your headline. We're not going to put a destination URL because I don't want them clicking on the headline and going to another page. I want the headline to be just a headline. There's no need to make it do anything. So we just simply hit the word done. Now, from here, I could hit publish, and that saves this page. And of course, at the moment, all this page has on it is our one single headline. But let's look at that page and see what it looks like. Just to give you an idea of just what's there. And see what it did was it added the word custom clothing. So now I could go in and I could add photos and text and more, and sliders and videos and all this stuff all on one page using this exact same tool that I learned to use over for my home page on the widgets. So I mean, this tool gives you a mass amount of power, and gives you the ability to basically do your own programming without having to pay to have a programmer do all this work for you to make your site look really sharp. So please jump into the editor, look at it a little bit, play around with this layout builder. Here, let's just do a quick thing here. For example, you've got your headline here. Over here next to it, you want something really fancy. So let's just do a layout. Pre-built layout. Click on that. In this case, we've never done pre-built layouts with this particular site yet, so I have to enable the layouts. Clicking that button, and now look at all these layouts. I can set this up automatically so that all of these layouts can be in that little spot. So for example, let's look at this one. I like the kind of look of that, so let's hit insert and just insert it after the other content. And there it is. Notice how it dumped all of those rows and all of that content into our page for us. All we have to do now is go in and edit each of these to make the content our own. And we've just got a pre-built page, super quick and easy without us having to create each and every row, each and every widget. It put it all in there for me. If I simply hit the update button now and then view this same page that we were looking at, we go back to our page that looked like this before. By hitting just the one button there to add a pre-built layout, now our page looks like this. Give it a second to load, and look at there. It added all this content for us. None of it's worded properly. None of it has our content because we don't do baked goods on our website. But it gives you now all I have to do is change these images, and we've got a pretty fancy website really quickly by just doing a little bit of content editing. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this video. Drop me a message if you have questions, and good luck, and we'll talk to you more later.